part of being a man is stuff is going to happen in your life. It's not supposed to be easy. You can't be sitting in a corner on your knees begging for stuff to get better, because part of being a man is going through all that type of stuff.
You can make all the excuses in the world, but will always be hard. It's never going to start getting easier. You have to understand that with bigger responsibilities comes bigger risk and bigger problems.
What is up, guys? Welcome to Focus, episode number 19. We're losing track already. My name is Louis.
My name is Jacob Rodriguez.
And this is the Focus podcast, guys. We are here every single Monday. And we've been at this for how many months?
20 weeks. So 20 weeks comes to almost 5 months.
5 months. Yeah. And with that being said, guys, we're going to give you exactly what you want today.
Sound bad sauce, bro.
No, guys, today, we want to talk about something that is lacking in the majority of our generation. And they're asleep. They're asleep in their little boy era, and it's time to man up. So we want to talk about how to get to that next stage, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are missing out on testosterone. I quite literally think that most men our age are just too feminine. I feel like they're very, very, very emasculated in the way that they aren't ambitious. I know there's people that were 13, 14 years old back in the 80s. They used to work full-time jobs while going to school. Mm-hmm. And now it's all about, I got a new skin in Fortnite. It's like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Step it up. And I think right now, it's for our generation, is kind of to focus and get to that next level is, you really have to start thinking about your future and actually getting to work. And the sooner the better, honestly. I feel like the sooner you start, then you have the long-term satisfaction of having that freedom in life.
Everybody waits until it's too late. They wait for something very tragic for them to happen in their life in order for them to take that step. And most of you already know what to do, but are waiting for that tragic moment. Why do you have to wait for bad stuff to happen when you have the ability to stop it right now? Take that leap, step up, because it's time to be a man. It's 2025. It's a new year. It's time to wake up. Have you ever heard of there's a new generation?
Jane Beta, right?
Gen
Beta. I think it's Gen Beta.
It's beta.
Yeah.
So we gotta set an example for these beta, right? And you gotta step up your game. And it's true.
Our kids are gonna be in Gen Beta, bro.
Yeah.
Generation Beta.
That's true. You didn't have any kids in Gen Z?
No, just in Mexico. I left a couple over there, but
that's normal. That's fine. Another country doesn't count.
A couple in Russia and Dubai, but that's it.
Yeah,
they don't know me though.
Did you were talking about in the 80s, the kids working in their high school?
Yeah, I mean since middle school.
What about the chimney sweepers? You ever heard of the chimney sweepers?
Oh yeah, the little 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds.
3-year-old, like 10-year-old, 9-year-olds.
No, I know. I saw some were like 5 years old, 6 years old. They would stick them in there, because they were tiny enough to fit through there.
I seen a picture of one smoking a cigarette, just all dirty and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? Just a regular. That's crazy. You guys are pussies.
Obviously, that's if we were those chimney sweepers, right?
No, hopefully, if you're watching the Focus podcast, you aren't a pussy, right? If you're watching this, the intention is to better yourself, then we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Anybody who's watching this, they're not beta. So we're training you to go out there and find those and tell them, wake the fuck up.
I think even if you are, we still want you to get to that next level and kind of step it up as a man and grow some balls. I think, honestly,
pretty much,
without being too explicit. I think our generation right now is currently lacking self-confidence, self-love, self-motivation, and they always question everything. Why, instead of actually doing anything. You could talk to any person and they could give you a million excuses why not to do something instead of doing it. Why? Why should it be like that? I feel like you should be the other way around and find the benefits of working hard, studying hard, all these other things, in the long term payments that you get from it. So, having a salary job, making money, being an employee, or having your own business. Honestly, all of those are fine. But what do you want as, the head of a household? What do you want as, the man of the house? And taking your life to the next level, and not just your life, but your family's life as well.
And I got something to say about that because you were mentioning about people always asking themselves, why is this happening to me? Why, right? Like you were saying. And they're playing the victim mentality. Part of being a man is this is what it takes. Stuff is going to happen in your life. It's not supposed to be easy. You can't be sitting in a corner on your knees begging for stuff to get better, because part of being a man is going through all that type of stuff. Stuff is going to happen. People are going to die. You're going to lose money. You're going to get broke. Stuff is going to happen. And you as a man, you have to know how to deal with certain things and be emotionally strong and very mentally strong and push forward, because that's part of it, right?
And I think, by the way, you should tell them your credentials and our credentials. We forgot to say at the beginning. I run a restaurant, Mexican restaurants in the state of Connecticut that do over 8 figures yearly. And Luis has...
I have a videography company, and I scaled up a fitness page on Instagram to 100,000 followers. And the reason we're mentioning that is because to let you guys know that you're not watching any nobodies. We've been in the game for a while. We know what it's like to grind. We're not full. We're not like full men. I hate.
What does that mean,
That sounds weird. That sounds weird. But what I'm trying to say is that you're never perfect in life. There's always learning opportunities at every stage, and we're not perfect. We still got a lot to learn. But what we're showing you, what we're showing you guys on the podcast is what we've gone through at this point of our lives.
I mean, we didn't start here. We weren't born here. You had to kind of scale up from the way down, I've had times where I've had to be a dishwasher. I had to be a prep. I had to work in the kitchen. I had to work as a barback. I had to work as a busser. I had to work as a host to scale up to that next level in this fucking phone. And, to get to that next level, it takes a lot of hard work, and it takes patience, and it takes time. All good things come with time. Just like the person that's bringing the phone, all good things come with time.
Guys, by the way, we are at the restaurant. We are on one of the location, Fairfield location. We film here on a day of the week. We can't say what week, just in case.
Yeah, just in case one of you.
But if you see something happening in the background, people are working. That's what's happening.
That's what's happening. It's always happening. Everything's working out. Everything's in progress. Luis and I actually we started doing something this week that we've never done before. We actually started working out together. So we started yesterday, and can't tell you what day, just in case you show up.
Well, you can, but they don't know what gym.
Yeah, and we started.
Somebody exposes us.
We started working out, and so we're getting to the gym at 6 a.m. So I'm waking up at 5:30. And, getting in there, working out. I've always been someone that's consistent. I'll go to the gym typically around that time anyways, but I just started working out with him. And Luis and I are getting a little bit of content, different type of content besides the podcast as well. We're getting a little bit of content inside the gym. We want to do a little bit more lifestyle type of content as well to show, the audience and everything like that, what things you have to do kind of to elevate your life.
Yeah.
And I think we're big components. We completely agree with people that say that to live this crazy lifestyle, this business lifestyle, you have to be mentally fit. And to be mentally fit, you also should be physically fit. And so we are components, and we try to work out as much as we can, 6 days a week. Even on our day off, we try to stay active. And so it's always just trying to kind of improve yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally as well, to elevate your life and get to that next step. Because honestly, you can make all the excuses in the world, but life will always be hard. It's never going to start getting easier. It will always be hard, and you just kind of have to grow with that. And you have to understand that with bigger responsibilities comes bigger risk and bigger problems. So if that's something that you don't want in your life, go work your 9 to 5, your regular salary job. But if you really want to get to that next step, you have to understand that with bigger responsibility comes bigger risk, come bigger problems.
Yeah, dude, and I love that. I love that life is hard. Yeah. Because if it wasn't hard, where would we be at right now? Where would anybody be at? you have to start looking at life with a different perspective because it's not going to get easier. So you might as well embrace the pain, embrace all the negativity, all the obstacles that are going to be thrown at you in life, and start to see the positive in it because they're not going to go away. You have to start training your mind off that victim mentality and saying, listen, after this, I'm going to get stronger. Or there's always a positive and a negative. It's how you see it. And the later podcast is the prior one. We talked about the gym being one of the biggest things that will help you in the real world. So the gym will teach you a lot of things that from the beginning, like consistency, pushing yourself to your limits. There's a lot of things that the gym will teach you that you will take on into the real world, which is great.
A lot of my motivation kind of came from the gym, and honestly, I think it to that just because, my life, I always grew up a obese kid, so I was always obese. I was always one of the bigger kids, and I always ate, but I always was never satisfied with my body, never satisfied with the way I looked. And then I started seeing people on I forget what it was, YouTube, I think. So I started watching people on YouTube, working out, looking huge, having my dream physique, and I'm like, I want to look like them. I want to be like them. And so I kind of looked at what they did every single day, and I saw they would meal prep. I saw they would go to the gym every single day. They'd be consistent. They pushed themselves hard, and I started re-implementing that inside my life as well. And so I started, working out. Even though I didn't know how to, I started it. And I started meal prepping, started kind of learning a little bit more about nutrients, learning a little bit more about your macros and what you should be eating, what's not healthy, what is healthy. And then I also started trying, and I also was just as consistent as I could. And I knew that, honestly, I always knew that if I didn't work hard, I would never get it. I would never get there. And now, after being in the gym for so many years, it just kind of just becomes such of my routine, and I feel so unsatisfied when I don't work out in the gym.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. And if you quit, you're gonna notice it immediately.
Yeah.
Because after a week, already losing weight and
No more
everything,
gains.
losing my muscles. Okay, let's get back on the topic. What were we at? What were we like?
About being manly and how, I think the gym really, truly gets you to that next step. And honestly, you want to be a bigger guy. That presence with being a bigger guy. Honestly, I feel like you get a lot more respect. Honestly, ever since I started working out and I bulked up and got bigger, I definitely got a lot more respect from people that I've just randomly met. Just because, I don't know, I feel like there's some type of respect that people give you when they see that you work out and that you're fit, compared to being scrawny or obese. Where
they do,
I
bro.
feel like there's a little bit less respect. Honestly,
I've always seen it. Every time I start at the gym, they're like, "Yo, bro, you look huge. What are you doing?" But then when you're scrawny, you're not. People don't really look up to you anymore. So it's like, get the fuck out of my way. Who are you?
Yeah. they don't even look at you because they're like, this kid's below me.
Yeah.
Honestly, but when you're fitter than most people,
Mm-hmm.
they look at you and you're like, oh shit, this guy has actually done something in his life so far. Let me hear him out. And so that's why I don't know. I feel like most entrepreneurs are pretty fit. I seen Mark Zuckerberg is working out and doing MMA and all these crazy workouts. Pretty jacked guy. Jeff Bezos, same thing, is jacked guy. And I think that consistency with the gym kind of translates to their business and growing that $1 trillion business or multi-billion-dollar businesses that they have and the success that they have.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely.
that did not come overnight. That came with time and consistency and hard work and tears and everything. And you have to understand that if you want to get to that step that they are at, you have to work hard, keep learning, and surround yourself with the good people.
It's part of the step. The gym is part of the step. I don't want you to think that going to the gym is automatically going to make you a man, because I've seen huge people who are just stupid. I'm just going to say stupid. You need to have emotional intelligence. You need to have discipline. You need to know how to deal with shit, because if you don't know how to do any of that and you're 6 foot, 200 pounds, pure muscle, then you're no use. Those muscles are no use. They're just a show.
Just Gronk, man. Gronk with no.
They're just display.
They're just display. Yeah.
Might as well go with Miami and get them then.
Yeah, honestly, start popping roids. But I think self improvement is part of the gym. So not just self improvement
Yeah.
physically, but also mentally. You have to become, mentally numb in the sense of understanding that there's always going to be issues in the world. There's always going to be problems with your business or anything like that. And how do you react to it? You have to make decisions without emotion. That's one of the things I've learned. That's one of the key components I've learned inside my business is, making decisions without being emotional. Because I always tend to make the worst decisions when I'm emotional. And that's something I've kind of had to adapt to just because, when you have a lot of emotion, you're riled up, you're angry about something, you want to say a bunch of things, you want to fire people. You can't do that. That's not the smart thing to do. Wait till you calm down, think about it, then make your decision.
Dude, I feel like that's gonna go over a lot of people's heads because that decision that you just explained, that's very difficult.
Yeah.
Because I've been through that, and it's something that you need to go through in order to learn how to control it.
100%.
And I guess you could try to like teach yourself and kind of mentally train yourself, but until you don't experience it, it's kind of hard to explain
Understand
it.
and comprehend. Yeah.
Yeah, because once you're in the fire, it gets a lot. It's easier said than done, basically.
Honestly, 100%. And then, especially when you're in business and you become desperate, it's even worse because, you're not seeing any progress, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, I think things just go downhill after that compared to, Luis and I have been doing the podcast. We've been doing these videos for a while now. And we obviously haven't seen the progress that we wanted to, but compared to other people, we've done amazing progress. We consistently get like 1,000 views on all of our podcast on our TikToks, and then our top one has like over 100,000 views, which people will kill for. But we already kind of started to build up that audience. Didn't come overnight, but it is not something that we've been doing this like we said in the beginning for 20 weeks now. So 5 months, we're not even close to where we want to be. But we understand that in another 5 months, maybe instead of 1,000 people, we'll have consistently 2,000 people. And maybe another video with 1 billion views. And that just kind of motivates you, and you have to think about that long-term motivation instead of that short-term motivation, or I forget what you called it last time, but
It has
the
to
end
be
goal,
long,
the end goal.
It has to be long term. Because the people who think short are not gonna get anywhere because they want things quick, and you're gonna fall off. But
Yeah,
dude, with the podcast, I don't really. We're consistent with it, and we have a big goal with it. But when we do them, I don't really think about that goal.
no, neither do I. But like the thing is, like we know in the back of our head we do think about
Like
it.
it's there, but it's
there.
like the podcast. It's grown on me. Like I feel this is a moment of therapy for me because every time I'm building the setup, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to sit down and just talk. Like this is by far one of my favorite times of the week is podcast day because I could sit down and talk. I love doing this, and I can't wait for the day that I could do it full time.
Yeah. That day will come. That
Yeah.
day will come. And
No,
Luis and I
absolutely.
talk about it all the time. We compare ourselves to other entrepreneurs and, content creators. And people live the dream lifestyle. But it's come over time. They have to master their craft. They kind of build their audience. And boom, they take advantage. They incentivize. And, they start making money off of their platform. And honestly, I already make money off my platform, the business, and I focus all my time on the business. But at the backhand, I also am trying to grow, my social media influence to have another stream of income to come into my life. And honestly, I love having these podcasts as well, just to share some of my knowledge that I have at such a young age to the young generation that we have watching these videos, to be able to help them grow or scale up their business or even get started on their business, because running a eight-figure business at 21 years old is not easy. I can tell you that.
But yeah, we wanted to talk about that because apparently, well, it's kind of noticeable. Anybody who's awake, you know what we're talking about. A lot of people nowadays, it's kind of difficult to get into that subject because they'll get canceled, afraid of saying some certain things. But it is what it is. I don't know have you ever thought about that?
What?
Things that we are saying in our podcast could possibly get us canceled in the future.
Oh, 100%. I've always thought about that. But not only in the podcast, I think with everything. Honestly,
Yeah, life,
I watch
everything.
myself very carefully, even inside the business. It's much different when you're talking with your best friend or with your family member. And then compared to professional wise, you have to watch what you're saying. You have to watch with, your expressions, your comments, because those could be used against you in the future if you're not careful with it, So
There's consequences to each and every action that you take in life, positive or negative. Positive reactions, negative reactions. But have you seen what happened to Kai Cenat's cameraman lately?
no, I don't know. I'm employed. What does that mean?
Huh?
Is it like one of the comments under his videos? Like, it's like people on TikTok like, "Oh, I'm employed. Tell me what happened."
Oh, okay, gotcha. No, but he got caught talking to a 17-year-old, a minor.
Jesus,
And
bro.
dude, that's like the biggest thing right now for.
And he's like, how old is the cameraman?
He's like 20 something, 27, 28.
Jesus.
So in the right now, the majority of people who are getting canceled that's like the biggest thing, talking to minors.
Oh yeah, that's a big deal. That is a pretty big deal,
But that's tough, bro, because you never know. What if somebody what if you talking to a girl and then she lies about her age and turns out to not be?
Well, I think it's the hard part about social media dating. But if you're doing real life dating, I think it's kind of easy to figure out.
No, social media dating is gay. If you're doing that, that's so stupid, dude. We have 4 minutes left. Okay. It's time to go. No, but yeah, guys. Well, that was it. That's what we wanted to talk about. This is my therapy session. Whoever's watching, hope you like this podcast, and thank you for watching this far. Focus is the number one thing you need in life to get anywhere. This is why we do this, to teach you guys, and this is why we named the podcast Focus.
Yeah.
But
number one podcast in the nation, right?
Number one. Damn, we should start saying that. It will be, bro. If you believe it enough, it will become.
Future number one podcast in the nation. Just letting you guys know right now.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy though? This podcast in the future is not going to be anything like this.
Oh no, it's not going to be in the restaurant. It's not going to be in Dubai.
Well, we probably won't even be talking about
these.
these.
In Abu Dhabi, in a private jet.
Can you imagine
drinking John Perignon?
What the fuck? No, but let's get out of here.
You get that outro, yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Now, listen. Every single Monday we're here. Come join us. Sit down with the boys. Have a cup of coffee, right?
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace, you guys. Stay focused.
Stay focused.